Hey guys, what's going on? Today I am going to show you the 300 point team that I played this weekend. It was a 300 point modern age game, so no feats. I played this Legion of Superheroes team. It was 284 points, and I just kind of winged it together, thought that some of the powers that they had were pretty fun and pretty interested. I wanted to try them out. At 300 points, and with this Superman set, I knew that this team would be lacking like I could get stealth, but there's a bunch of Superman team abilities to cut through the stealth. So one of my strongest points for this team is pretty heavy in this set. But I figured, from now on, it's going to always be that way. So I figured maybe I'd get lucky and there wouldn't be too many Superman team abilities out there because other people were trying to use other powers. But anyways, this is the team I played. I played 3 rounds. The first round I went up against the Heroclix and the 20-point Talia, and that actually went fairly well because he could not see through my stealth. What you do with this team is Invisible Kid can give another Legion of Superhero stealth. So what you do, and he also has stealth. If he has no tokens, he's like, you can't target him at all. You can't draw a line of fire to him, but you could punch him from close combat. What I did was I got Wildfire and Hindering Terrain, threw Invisible Kid up behind him, so they were both in stealth because I gave Wildfire stealth, and then I swung in Starman behind them, so it was kind of like a little triangle, and had position so that Heroclix was basically just aiming at Invisible Kid and Wildfire and Starman from behind, and those two were stealthy. And then I pushed Invisible Kid to get onto Perplex on the second turn, and then I pushed Wildfire to Range Combat Expert on Heroclix. This team is keyworded, so you're able to have 2 probs. So I was able to get off the first attack, push in on Wildfire, and I had 2 perplexes because Starman starts off with perplex. So I had a 12 attack, 3 damage with Range Combat Expert, so I hit for 5. He did miss his impervious roll, which was good for me, because after that it would have probably been really tough if he would have landed that. But I was able to get that. And another key thing is Starman has JSA, and all of these figures are wildcard figures. So if you base Starman with those guys, they all can share the same defense. Well, Starman's defense, which is 18. So they also had 18 defenses as well. Because Invisible Kid on his first click, I believe, is a 16. And Wildfire is only a 17. So that helps. So I was able to get some big hits on Heroclix, and Talia came up to base me, and I was able to take her out. Wildfire is also a sharpshooter, so he can also do Range Combat Expert from close combat. I was able to win that match. It was very tough. I was hesitant, but because I was able to get stealth, I was able to survive and get those good rolls, and he wasn't able to really get a lot of good rolls. But I think he did pretty good in the tournament, winning the next 2 games. The next game, I went up against 2 150 point Supermen, and you can pretty much guess what happened. I lost. Overall, I lost pretty bad, but after the first couple rounds, I was in position to get a push with both Starman and Wildfire on Superman, and I hit both times, but he rolled impervious both times. And after that, I was double pushed, and both of those Supermen have Indomitable. So it was pretty brutal, and the stealth with Invisible Kid was totally non-existent. So it kind of really threw off that. The problem with this team is that it needs some outwit. Either you take Starman off and you throw on Superman enemy team ability to get that bonus, but then it probably will mess up the keywords and not make your keyword team. Because if you look at this, we have probability because it's keyword. We have Perplex with Invisible Kid and Starman, but we just don't have outwit. So either you take off Invisible Kid or Starman, but I believe you want to keep Invisible Kid because he's actually cheaper to get that. And Starman, he's got some good things about him, but it just kind of, you know, his team ability was the big thing to boost up the 18 defense. But attacking wise, he didn't really bring a lot, because I was thinking, oh, well, his special power is to phase up and base someone, and they have a -1 to their attack. Well, you can't do it to you can't push and do it, because it ends up on running shot on a second click, which I wish that wasn't the case, because I would have pushed probably a couple times in either one of my games to get that off, but it really was very hard to get that to work. And my team needed the JSA team ability to boost my defenses up, and I didn't want Starman to go out on his own. So it just didn't work out. The 2 Superman team, that team is just really, really good. It does have some flaws. Power Cosmic characters, they can push and they can't be outwitted, so you can just outwit his hypersonic and they're pretty much dead in the water. So 2 outwits on them, you're pretty much good. It's going to be tough. Those two Superman are nasty figures. If he wouldn't have hit his impervious rolls, it might have been different. I was only doing 3 damage because I wanted to just to get him off that hypersonic click, but who knows. And then my 3rd round, I went up against Eradicator, the new Superboy, and the LE Clark Kent. And we went back and forth, but I was able to take him out, and I was left with Eradicator. Kept on getting on his hypersonic steel energy click. Took out Starman and Invisible Kid. Wildfire was able to take him out. But I mean, it was good, and that was the last round. So I was just trying to enjoy the night. So guys, tell me what you think about this team. Definitely has some flaws, but I mean, it was fun. I really liked the Invisible Kid, and Wildfire, it definitely has a really high damage output. I just don't know if this is a really good 300-point team. Definitely not, but it was fun to play. I wanted to give it a shot. I really like Invisible Kid with the ability to do the stealth.